Hi, I'm Al Bernstein, and you're watching the 8-Count Boxing Hour.
And now we take you over to the Albuquerque Convention Center, where 1996 Olympic gold medalist and outstanding fighter of those games, Vassily Jirov of Kazakhstan, 3-0 with 3 knockouts, now fighting and living in Las Vegas, Nevada, will take on Oakland, California's Aljenon "A Cold Silence" Debose. Debose with a sub-500 record, but he's a tough journeyman fighter. He's very powerfully built. You'll see him step into the ring against Vassily Jirov here. We're on the undercard of the Rumble on the Rio Grande. Danny Romero and Johnny Tapia in separate title defenses. But right now we're looking at Cruiserweight set for 6 rounds. This is Aljenon Debose taking on Vassily Jirov. Got a good crowd here at the Convention Center in Albuquerque. Everyone's ready for Tapia and Romero. But first we're going to look at Vassily Jirov and Aljenon Debose here on the 8-Count Boxing Hour. And to tell you more on it, whenever he's ready, is Michael Buffer. And whenever you're ready, Michael, go ahead and take it away. Michael Buffer, the ring announcer in the middle of the ring now, looks around and he's waiting for his cue. This fight being broadcast internationally for the Cedric Kushner Network, but right now you're looking at it here on the 8-Count Boxing Hour, only in Albuquerque. We're just about ready to get underway. Michael Buffer to introduce the 2 fighters.
Gentlemen, we go to the Cruiserweight division. This bout is scheduled for 6 rounds. When the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action is Merv Nephew. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. He's wearing the maroon trunks with black trim and weighs in at 188 1/2 pounds. From Oakland, California, he brings a record of 2 victories with 3 defeats and 1 draw. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome to the ring, Aljenon, "A Cold Silence" Debose. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing white with black letters and weighing in at 193 1/2 pounds. In 1996, he captured Olympic gold right here in the USA in Atlanta, and now has a record, a perfect one, of 3-0 with 3 KOs. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the undefeated young man from Kazakhstan, Vassily Jirov.
The 2 fighters touch him up, and we're just about ready to get underway with the action here. Cruiserweight set for 6 rounds. Aljenon Debose out of Oakland, California, weighing in at nearly 190 pounds. His opponent, Vassily Jirov, a little bit over the 190 pounds at 193 1/2. We're underway. Vassily Jirov in the white trunks, the 1996 Olympic gold medalist. He was also named the outstanding fighter of the 96 Olympic Games. Vassily Jirov in the white trunks. Aljenon Debose up on his toes now in the red trunks. Up on his toes boxing, trying to move in and out with his hands high. Vassily Jirov is the southpaw. Aljenon Debose with a record of 2-3-1. Jirov unbeaten at 3-0. All 3 wins by knockout. Professional boxing coming to you from the Albuquerque Convention Center. Dan Cisneros at ringside, and again, you're watching the 8-Count Boxing Hour on Community Cable Channel 27, public access television, only in Albuquerque. So far, neither man really unleashing the power yet. Both men power punchers. Vassily Jirov, the much more polished, much slicker boxer in the white trunks. A world of amateur experience, and he sticks a jab in the face of Aljenon Debose. Debose looks like he'll have to kind of rough Jirov up and get him into a slugfest here. Ooh, there you see the snappy, quick jab of Vassily Jirov. DeBose trying to stay out of trouble. You can see he's kind of dancing around the outside of the ring, and Jirov taking control and hunting down DeBose. And DeBose just leaps in with a right hand, and that could be really dangerous against Jirov. Vassily Jirov, an excellent counterpuncher. There's a good left hand to the body now from Jirov. And you've got to figure Vassily Jirov must be quite a fighter to take the outstanding fighter of the games when fighters like Antonio Tarver were there. The pressure being applied by Vassily Jirov in the white trunks. Now a good exchange on the inside now, and DeBose does pretty well there as Jirov backs out, but he tries to come back with a counter left. So Aljenon DeBose opens up the offense a little bit here. There's a good right hand by Jirov, and he comes back with a body shot while DeBose is trying to tie him up. Referee Merv Nephew separates the two. Big crowd here at the convention center. Of course, Danny Romero and Johnny Tapia in separate title defenses, both to be shown on HBO. But leading up to that right now, we're looking at Vassily Jirov and Aljenon DeBose. So the bell ends round one. Pretty good round for Vassily Jirov. We look into the corner now of Aljenon DeBose out of Oakland, California. And DeBose is going to need to either just let it all hang out and go out there and go after Jirov. I don't think he should stand back and try to box with the very talented former amateur star Vassily Jirov. I just don't think that's a good formula. Do it in that first round, and if he continues to fight like this, Jirov will probably pick him apart. Aljenon DeBose, very muscular, very powerfully built. He's a strong man. Maybe lacking a bit, though, just definitely not the level of Vassily Jirov. However, he is hoping to pull the upset here in front of the big crowd here in Albuquerque. So we're just about ready to get underway now with the second round. Vassily Jirov and Aljenon DeBose here on the 8-count boxing hour. Referee Merv Nephew calls the two to the center, and we're underway now, round two, scheduled for 6 cruiserweight division. And you can see that DeBose just does not have the hand speed to go with Vassily Jirov. A couple of good exchanges in that opening round, but neither man really just letting loose. Oh, and you can see DeBose coming in with his head down, and Jirov just sticks him with a jab. Jirov with that Soviet bloc style, that good jab and the extended jabbing arm. And now DeBose tries to mix it up, and Jirov trips. That's not a knockdown. He stumbled coming out. I think he tripped over DeBose's feet. And referee Merv Nephew makes it clear that is not a knockdown, but DeBose gets energized by that, and he comes in and throws a right hand. DeBose now switching to southpaw. So he's going to try to change things up a little bit here. And he leans in, and he's just off balance, and Jirov could have just chopped him with a rabbit punch. Referee Merv Nephew now tries to set things back up again. Aljenon DeBose a little bit clumsy, a little bit awkward here. Oh, and he takes a left hand from Jirov, and now Vassily Jirov starting to open up. Look at those 4 body shots in a row now. Down goes DeBose. He was hurt from the body shots, and he kind of stumbles, but that will not be a knockdown. Referee Merv Nephew right on top of the situation here. Getting a little bit sloppy, a little bit wild here. But Jirov just banging to the body with that left hand. Again, look at him go to the body. Wide open for him, and DeBose just leans in, and he tries to answer back with a right hand to the body. But it looks like DeBose just doesn't have the hand speed to go anywhere near Vassily Jirov's. Jirov now just looks like he's just picking his shots here, setting DeBose up. Oh, and Aljenon DeBose looks like he may be tiring a bit. Big overhand right, misses by a mile. And Jirov could have made him pay dearly. He wasn't able to. Vassily Jirov has to feel good right now with the edge and hand speed. Looks like he can pretty well do what he wants. Jirov content to trade body shots with DeBose. I would think he'd be sticking the jab in there more and trying to get in there with that speed with an in and out style. But oh, and DeBose runs into a left hand. Another left hand, overhand left from Jirov, and DeBose was trying to hang on to him as he was falling down. And DeBose stumbles down again. This will be ruled not a knockdown. I don't know if DeBose is running out of gas or what. Okay, we've got a point deduction now from Algenon DeBose for holding on or something here. He looks really disgusted, and that ends the second round. So Algenon DeBose, Jirov. And right now you see them working on the eye of DeBose. He's starting to swell up around the right eye. The left hooks and the jabs from Jirov are just starting to bust up DeBose. So far, former amateur star Vassily Jirov in complete control here at Albuquerque. And DeBose is definitely going to have to land something big to get back into this one. Deputy Inspector Dave Stewart looking on there in the corner of Algenon DeBose, making sure that everything's kosher here in the Algenon DeBose corner. So we get ready for the third round now. We're scheduled for 6, and this one doesn't look like it'll go far unless DeBose can come up with something different. He tried switching to southpaw. It didn't work at all. Vassily Jirov just getting stronger as the bout goes on. We're underway with round 3 now. Let's see what Vassily Jirov can do with his opponent, Algenon DeBose, in the red trunks. And again, you see the hand speed. Immediately, Jirov just comes out and takes advantage, and there's a good left hand that just staggers DeBose, and Jirov now just kind of stepping around, looking kind of frisky in here, like he's just having fun. And I think Vassily Jirov now looking to show what he can do to this Albuquerque crowd. DeBose just looking almost helpless in there. I don't know, he looks pretty tired, he looks hurt. He's been down a few times, but neither one ruled a knockdown. Again, Jirov now working with that lead right. Oh, and Jirov stumbles down. That's a slip too. So both men have been down a few times, but no knockdowns yet. A lot of stumbling and fumbling here. The awkward style of Algenon DeBose, hard to work around. And DeBose tries to leap in with a lead overhand left, and that just isn't going to get it done. Jirov easily steps away. And now DeBose tries to bore in on the man from Kazakhstan. And now Jirov working with that left hand. So Vassily Jirov, a good-looking prospect. We'll have to see how he does as he steps up in competition. But right now, he's in full control of his opponent, DeBose. And again, DeBose just kind of hangs on and falls flat on his face here. Let's see what referee Merv Nephew rules on this one. It's another slip, and I think Merv Nephew's starting to lose his patience with this guy. He just doesn't look like he's into this fight at all, and looks like Jirov has complete control. Oh, and DeBose missing badly with a lead right hook, and he just kind of stumbles, and Jirov can just totally take control of this match. He has full control. I don't know what more he can do other than just to pull the trigger and let things fly here. And there he shoots a right hand to the chin of DeBose, and down goes Algenon DeBose, and this one is a knockdown. And this guy just looks wiped out. He's just really had enough. Let's see what referee Merv Nephew, if he'll let it go. He's talking to DeBose. He's going to let it continue. So Algenon DeBose knocked down here in the third round, and he's just getting tortured in here by the former Olympic star Vassily Jirov. And look at DeBose running he's running looking for a place to hide, and Jirov almost mercifully just kind of holds back. Now Jirov lets some shots go, and he looks almost like he doesn't want to hurt this guy, and and that's it. Referee Merv Nephew agrees that'll be all. Absolutely dominant performance by Vassily Jirov, although I don't know whether to give him the credit or take it away from DeBose, who just went from bad to worse and just was never in this match. Totally outmatched, outclassed, had no business in the ring with Vassily Jirov, who moves his record now to 4-0 with 4 wins by knockout. So you look at a very dejected Algenon DeBose, not very pleased with his performance. And I don't think his corner is too pleased either, telling me at the weigh-in to keep an eye on this guy and that he had a great shot at a big upset. that he was a power-punching whirlwind, but he sure didn't look like it at all in this performance. But sometimes your plans you just can't carry out your plan because your opponent has too much for you. In this case, Vassily Jirov, far too much of a fighter for this Algenon Debose, and he will take his 4th loss now against 2 victories. But let's give the credit where it belongs. Vassily Jirov doing the into the corner now of Vassily Jirov, the victorious Vassily Jirov. And right now, let's go up to Michael Buffer to make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee, Merv Nephew, calls a halt to the bout. The official time, 2 minutes, 54 seconds of round number 3. The winner by knockout victory, still undefeated. His record now, 4-0, 4 KOs. He's the Olympic gold medal champion from Kazakhstan. Ladies and gentlemen, still undefeated, Vassily Jirov.
So running his record to 4-0, all 4 wins by knockout, is Vassily Jirov. Keep an eye on him, watch for him in the future, because you saw him here on the 8 Count Boxing Hour.